It's alright.
Oh my god!
Yo guys, what is up? Max on a Borderlands 3 video, and today we're talking about the top 5 most underrated weapons in Borderlands 3. Now, I put out a tweet asking people what they thought the most underrated weapons in Borderlands 3 were. I got a ton of suggestions, so thank you guys for that. And I tried out pretty much every suggestion that people asked. Some were very underwhelming to me, some I didn't think were underrated. For example, a lot of people suggested like the Gargoyle or the Soul Render, and I've used those weapons in builds. I've showed them off on the YouTube channel. To me, those weapons aren't underrated, so this is my list of what weapons I think are underrated. If you guys agree or would add a weapon to this list, be sure to comment it. I hope you guys enjoy the video, and with that, guys, let's get right into it. Alright guys, so starting at number 5, and we're going to rank these at number 5 being the worst performing of the underrated weapons, and number 1 being the best of the underperforming weapons. And I honestly made this list just to show you guys the number 1 weapon because I love it, and I don't know how I wasn't using it before. But to start us at number 5 is the Firestorm. Now, the Firestorm is a Maliwan Fire Elemental Lock Sniper Rifle, and Maliwan Sniper Rifles in this game not getting lots of love. They're honestly not very good. However, of them, I do enjoy using the Firestorm. It's got really nice area clear. It's good for mobbing. You can do some crazy things with this on Moze and with the Mara and Ties That Bind with Indiscriminate. The Firestorm acts all crazy, and you can do some really nice things with this. If you guys want to go get a Firestorm, you can farm one from Katagawa Jr. And if you are going to use it, my number 1 recommendation for you is to roll splash damage radius on your class mod and area of effect damage. This will just help this weapon out and make it better at what it's supposed to be good at, which is, for the most part, mobbing. So coming in at number 4 is the Craps pistol. Now, there are a lot of Torgue pistols in this game, and 90% of them are very mediocre. I would say that the Craps is not. I would rate the Prompt Critical higher than the Craps, but I think people know about that weapon and know how good it is. I don't see anyone using the Craps. Now, the Craps can come into any element and has the special property that when you're shooting it, it'll randomly just fire out a bunch of extra projectiles. All these extra projectiles do a ton of damage and do splash damage, and this thing on Moze, Mara, and Zane can be really strong. I do enjoy this weapon. Now, if you're looking to get a Craps or get the Craps, you can go to Taco Bell. I mean, Jackpot. You can farm this from Jackpot. Sorry, bad joke. It comes in any element. Definitely recommend you guys get this pistol. Coming in at number 3 is the Garcia. Now, this weapon was a top tier weapon used by a lot of players in the beginning of the game. It got nerfed and changed to this like double pump, and pretty much everyone that I know stopped using this thing because it was bad, and it still is this double pump variant. However, with its recent buff, I really do think this thing shines on like literally any character. I wouldn't use it on Moze, but Zane, Flak, and Amara are super strong with the Garcia. It's a ton of fun to use. It's super satisfying. It is tough to get. You want to farm this thing in Eden 6 from Chonk Stomp. And you're gonna hope for a times 16 variant. Once again, all of this footage that I was testing with was on my URAD Amara build, Deathwish Amara V2, which should be coming out relatively soon, hopefully. And I just think the Garcia, a lot of people shied away from because it changed from this like crazy awesome full auto gun to this double pump, but I think it competes with the best of the shotguns, particularly the Hellwalker. I know it's not quite as good as the Hellwalker, but it is a ton of fun, and I think it deserves more love, so I put the Garcia at number 3. Coming in at number 2 is the Trevinator. Now, I love this weapon, and I love its backstory. If you do not know, the Trevinator was named after Trevor Eastman, a Borderlands fan who was able to play a early preview build of Borderlands 3, who was battling cancer, and the Trevinator is a tribute to that fan, and it is such a strong weapon. Now, this thing got buffed a while back. Its biggest downside in terms of using this weapon is its ammo consumption. It does chew through ammo, but as a hard-hitting Maliwan splash shotgun, you cannot do wrong with this thing. It hits like a truck. It honestly hits really hard. Once again, its biggest thing is that it consumes a lot of ammo. But on Amara, on Zane, on Moze particularly, this thing is an absolute monster. And I haven't really used it that much in builds, and that's a mistake on me because this thing is amazing. And then we get to our number 1 spot, which is honestly, once again, the reason I made this list, because I wanted to talk about this weapon. So I don't know how this weapon like slipped over my head. I tried it, I didn't like it, and I never really used it again up until recently. And the weapon that I'm putting at number 1 is the Rebound Assault Rifle. This thing is amazing, and it's really hard to get because it drops from Psycho Reaver. And the special properties of this is the COV Assault Rifle that shoots these like saw blades that ricochet and fly around, and then at the end of their like life cycle, they actually explode and dealing splash damage. And this thing for mobbing in high packed areas like the Guardian takedown, like the Malawan takedown, on Amara, on Moze, on Zane, on Flak, is amazing. I absolutely love this thing. It does decent work for bossing as well, not nearly as good as it is for mobbing, but as a mobbing option with Amara and Indiscriminate, with Zane and Eraser, and Moze with her splash damage bonuses, this thing is really, really, really nice. And I wanted to make this video because of how good this thing is and how much I've been missing out on it. If you have been missing out on the Rebound, I really do genuinely recommend you try to go get one. I was using a URAD Cryo one for a lot of the gameplay, and it was just absolutely decimating everything. All right, guys, that is going to do it for our top 5 video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Real quick, we're going to give some honorable mentions to some weapons that didn't make it on the list that are underrated. I definitely think do deserve to be given some love, but didn't make it on the list because you need like a super specific build or like a crazy setup in order to make them work. And one of those weapons is the Moonfire. You can only really get this thing working if you're like working on a crazy cracked gun damage Zane build with 390. Then it feels really good, but in general, I didn't like using this weapon. The Phaser, you can do some cool things with this on Moze. I found it pretty underwhelming on like any other setup. The Furbert, honestly, super cool. If you guys haven't tried the Furbert yet, it's one of my most favorite shotguns and super underrated. It's dead accurate. However, I just didn't think it performed quite well enough to make it on this list. However, it is a really cool Hyperion shotgun. And lastly, the Laser Exploder, very awesome on Moze. Didn't enjoy it on my Amara or using it on Flak either. Guys, that'll do it for the video. If you got any suggestions or top 5 lists you want me to do next, be sure to let me know. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Take care. Peace. I was putting